It's Saturday the 3rd of June 2023. The day has finally arrived. In a little while, I'm going to get picked up from my accommodation at the lodge in Birdsville and driven about 20 k's out of town to the race hub, where I'll be running 50 kilometres in the Simpson Desert Ultra. There are 4 options for the Simpson Desert Ultra: 25 k's, 50 k's, 75 k's and 100 k's. And each loop has a start window. So my start window opened at 10 p.m. and closes at 2 a.m. I'm starting at 1 a.m. I hope to come in after 25 k's for a short break, which I hope will include a bacon and egg roll. We'll see whether I have time for that or not. And then head back out on the final loop of the event. So every competitor from every distance will head out, hopefully. That's the plan, at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And all going well, I'll be back at the hub, done and dusted, collecting my unique mug, which is the equivalent of the medal for this event, around noon. Am I being realistic? Am I dreaming? Who knows? We'll find out. Supporter camp. Bonfires. The leaderboard. Admin. The start finish line. And a car with very bright lights. Aid station. Some runners. Soon heading out on their 3rd loop. They've already done 25 or 50 depending. Medical tent. The dunes. Going to be climbing a few of them. And this is pretty cool. I have back here and watch someone come in. Yeah, nice. A nice pace jogging it in. Getting it done. Well done.
Right hand turn, okay? You're going to follow the south loop signs.
Yep.
South loop signs?
South.
That's okay, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's fine. I got used to looking at those south loop signs.
You got it.
You got it?
Rock and roll.
You tell me
You are. You're totally ready. We've got this.
You're right. Once you get out, that'll be beautiful. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Come on, baby.
You got it. You can do this. I'll be back. You can do this.
Sorry about the headlamp. We're 5k's done. It's taken like an hour and 5 minutes. So all time goals are out the window. Everything being reconsidered. The surface is insane. So much tougher than I had anticipated. I'm not complaining. I'm stoked to be out here, but being realistic, yeah, my dream goal of between 10 and 11 hours is in the bin, and we're just going to get this done however long it takes. But yeah, the first K and a bit was giver plane, and my run walk strategy was working fine. And ever since, it's been up and over a sand dune on an angle, so that was all soft sand. But then there's this surface that I'll show you in a sec, and it's hard to explain, but it's like gorse and sand. There's not a single foot you put down that is the same angle or direction as the foot before. Like, it's just I keep thinking I'm staggering along like a drunk. It's wild. But that's 5 done, 45 to go. That's 1 park run done, 9 park runs to go. And it's bloody magical out here. The moon is lighting the way and I'm having a ball. So yeah. So this is the terrain, and you can tell by how badly the camera is bouncing around that it's just a wild ride to find your way. These are the markers, like a little fluoro tube and ribbon, and you just look up from the one you've passed and try and find the next one and walk towards it. It's yeah, look, it's much tougher than I had anticipated, and I think this particular surface is the bulk of the course. And I thought I'd done lots of sand prep, but yeah, I didn't prep for this. Whee! What an adventure. Hi, quick torchless bit so you can see my face. Can't afford to do that though. So, about the 7.5k mark. Proud to announce, just had my first stack. Sorry for the torch in the camera. Then, so going up a sand dune, super steep. Don't even know. Got the footing wrong, who knows. Luckily it was a nice straightforward fall forward onto hands and knees. I think I got some sort of prickly thing in my hand, but might just be stinging from the landing. Who knows? This is hard work. Very hard work. Just got overtaken by a lovely lady, much older than me. She'd already had 2 stacks. She's a fast walker. She's gone. It's pretty magical out here. There's a lot of cloud cover, but the moon's still really bright and beautiful. So I feel like you probably can't really see this, and I can't turn my torch off because I don't see anything. This is salt pen, and apart from needing to watch out for holes made by the cattle running through, this is beautiful running surface. So I'm trying to make up a bit of my absurdly slow time on this. Not sure how much of it there is. I feel like I'm walking straight out of sand dune. Lol. The light you can see in the mid-distance, there's the first aid station. So far I've done 12.3 k's in 2.4 hours. I'm taking much longer than I thought I would. But I'm about to go wee down this absurdly steep sand dune, and in a while I'll be at that aid station and I'll be eating all things. Not sure how many more in the dark videos I'll make because I know there's nothing to really see, but just clocked over 14 k's. The aid station was at the 13k mark, and a lovely volunteer called Courtney plucked out, I don't know, she said she thinks about 10 prickles out of my hand. There's still a couple of deep ones in there, but I got a band-aid for my boo-boo, and I will live. I actually will, without question, absolutely survive. a very minor fall and a handful of brickles. So yeah, saw a very cool creature of some kind, like a caterpillar, but white and with the most massive stinger sticking up out of its bum. I was more than happy to go around that guy. Anyway, 14 Ks done, 11 Ks back to the hub now, and then another 25. So yeah, past halfway on the first loop. Got to be happy about that. Apart from how incredibly challenging the terrain is, I'm feeling great, feeling positive, feeling happy. Love the moon, love the light, love the view. Yeah, this is wild. It's 7 a.m. I've done 23 kilometres, 2 kilometres to get back to the hub, and as you can see, it's almost sunrise. Oh, lost my markers though. Oh my god, so much to catch you up on. So somehow I managed to get to the end of the 25 Ks. Came in at about, I don't know, 7:30 or something. It's just after 8. I've had a few bites of a bacon and egg roll and then the rest of the egg. I had a coffee that my absolute legend of a husband had waiting for me at the finish line, because he is actually the most amazing man in the universe. I changed my shirt. I decided the best approach with my feet is to just ignore them and not look at them. You know, healing is for later, right? Pain is temporary, quitting is forever, and other cliches. So there's the hub back there. I've just left. I'm heading out. I've done the south loop, 25 Ks. Time to go out on the north loop. Last night was a pile of crap, let me tell you. It was damned hard. Super, super hard. But it was very reassuring to get back to the hub and have the Hubsters team, Malcolm and Luke, the two amazing husbands who have been cheer squad and support crew, tell me that everyone has said that as they've come in. So even though I was one of the last people in, which was because I was one of the last people to leave, I feel reassured that I didn't do it any tougher than anyone else. So it's just after 8. I've got till 12 o'clock to make it to the checkpoint at the, they say halfway, but it's not halfway, of the North Loop. I am reassured by the news that there are no gibber planes between here and the check-in point, although I'm about to walk on some, so that was a lie. I'll show you in a minute. But the checkpoint is 11 Ks into this 25 K loop, and you bet your bottom dollar I'll be counting down every K by K. This complete and utter asshole of a surface is called gibber planes, and in my stupid training brain for the last 6 months I thought, oh yeah, just like Pebblecrete, you know, the driveways that are stones, lol, you cannot walk on this. You stub your toe every second step you take. This is an insane surface, and I hacked it. Just after I left the hub and talked about how I was determined to finish the 50, this legend Bindi caught up with me, and we've been walking together, and we have quite a few things in common, one of which is we're both crazy enough to think walking 50 Ks in the desert was a good idea. Was it a good idea, Bindi?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, she is my happy positivity guru, and we are happy and positive and having an adventure. It's the best. So this is the emergency checkpoint. It's got a radio, some water and first aid, and we only need to use it if we need to. Obviously it's halfway between the hub and the checkpoint that's middle-ish of the loop, although we believe it's about 11 Ks around on this loop. We are doing a slow climb up slippery sand right now. So we just climbed out of this bowl of horrid sand up to this sand dune, and the views are spectacular. And here's Mindy and a fellow competitor just soaking it all up. Magic. 3, 2, 1, go! So I'm on the top of another dune. There are so many dunes. I just passed 37 Ks. I'm in PB territory now. My previous longest distance was 35.8 Ks in the Light Horse Ultra a few weeks ago. And I've been through the checkpoint, which was at the 11K mark. I'm a bit over a K past the checkpoint where Bindi and I arrived together, and Bindi decided to call it a day. So I'm going to get these last 13 Ks done alone, which is fine because I came here to do this for me. I read some beautiful notes at that checkpoint, and I'm gonna fucking nail this. You watch me. It's really quite difficult to explain to you just how difficult this terrain is. I mean, sand dunes are much worse, but this is every single footfall, pebbles under your feet or bigger rocks that you kick. Everything is hurt, a world of hurt, all the things hurt, but mostly, my God, my feet hurt so much, and I am really struggling to walk. As for running, there'll be no running. So I've been through the final checkpoint, which is normally just a little emergency checkpoint like the video earlier with water, radio and first aid, but because it's so hot they actually had a full aid station with Coke and ice and water and a nurse, which was nice. And we had a bit of a chat, and I'm lifting my net because it's hard to find the ribbons and find your way with the black gauze in front of your face. And the, I don't know, pink should stand out, but for some reason it's just not. Could be my sunnies. Anyway, 6 Ks to go. And so it's all done. 50 kilometres of the most ridiculous terrain. I went expecting 20% sand dunes and a combination of kibber plain and salt pan. In the 2 loops I did, a south loop and a north loop, I'm going to say there was no salt pan at all, and it was about 80% sand dune. It's not true, but it felt like it. It's the toughest, most challenging terrain. Every competitor said it was harder than they expected. People who'd been before in previous years said it was the toughest, most challenging version of the event. Last year there'd been rain, lots and lots of rain and floods, which is awful, but it meant the sand dunes were rock solid. This year the sand was incredibly soft. If you've ever been to the beach and done that, kind of try to walk up the sand dune to leave the beach thing and your feet have slipped back further than where you were to start with, yeah, there was a lot of that. There's a lot of very uneven surface. A lot of the sand bowls and sand dunes were full of prickly gorse bushes. So, you know, you were sort of trying to walk around bushes or between bushes and getting prickles in the legs and stuff like that. This is the most insanely difficult thing I've ever done. But done it is. I'm very proud of what I achieved. I'm very proud to be able to call myself an ultra marathoner, even if it took me a really long time. There were 22 people in my team who made it to the start line. Sorry, 23 including me. And out of the 23 of us, 9 were not able to finish the distance they signed up for. I was the last person to cross the finish line at the end of the day. But I started later than some other competitors, and so I think in terms of time, possibly it's a bit quicker than some people. Many though. I mean, not that it matters. I didn't come there to beat people or be quicker than people. I came here to do the Simpson Desert Ultra 2023, and that's exactly what I did.